Hello, my name's Gary Schotten, and I'm the founder of Inspiring Better Business, this IBB Talks global initiative, and I'm glad you're with me. I hope you will join in with this and be a part of this at any level you want to be. We're looking for more speakers, so we want you to do that if you would. Today I'm going to talk about the subject of lean, L-E-A-N. And that's kind of a buzzword that would only mean something the way I'm going to use it in the manufacturing world. I might go to a meeting and I might have some people there and they might say, hey, have you gone lean yet? Or are you going lean? How's your lean projects? So it's a buzzword. Almost every industry has buzzwords, but this is one that kind of makes sense in the fact that if you were in the meat industry, you might get some beef that was more lean. Well, that would be some beef or hamburger that doesn't have as much fat in it. You got the fat, you got rid of the extra, you only get pure meat. Or you might have something else that you would think of that you would say that this gentleman is or this lady is real lean. They're a long distance runner because they don't have much fat on their bone. They're a little skinny. So it's a kind of along the same line, because in manufacturing we got to cut out the fat. We got to cut out the extra. We got to cut out the inefficiencies, because the inefficiencies is what's going to cause us to lose or make money. You see, we can't just go to our customers and say, hey, I'm not quite as efficient as I should be, so I think you ought to pay me more money for these parts because you should make up with a higher price to make up for my inefficiency. Quite the opposite is true. On every one of our customers, they have come to us and said, we need you to be cheaper. We want you to get the same price, the same product, the same quality. They know my labor price is going up, but I need it, in one case, 5% cheaper. One actually asked us for 25% cheaper across the board. They knew that wasn't realistic. I agreed to 10% because there was a very big customer, a very good customer, and they knew that we're doing things along this line to be more lean. We're studying lean, and they knew that we could give that kind of a discount to them, or not, wasn't a discount, it was a reduction in price. So we're talking about taking out waste, taking away the extra, taking out the fat. Now, in our company, you see here behind us, we got all kinds of parts, and I'm in the finished goods department. We got about 40 CNC machines, about 40 machinists. We work 2 shifts, and so we're constantly developing a culture. We actually have a coach that has come in the past. It doesn't come as often now because he's trained us how to think lean, how to be more lean, how to propagate the idea of lean throughout the company. We have a culture of trying to be lean or being lean. We do things like the way we set up, there's particular devices that hold these parts in the machine. They call them jaws. And these jaws are numbered now in a way that you can easily find them. We have what's called a setup sheet. The way we do the very first part, we do some of these parts over and over and over again, years after year after year, but a new person might come into the company and they have never done it before. So we write down as a work order, a worksheet, a work instructions that shows them how this is done best, how we want it done. We're standardizing things. We actually took a camera like the camera I'm using here, and one of our workers, and there's a team, it's a process of going lean, of being able to actually video record someone for just a little while. It's not all the time, but video record them to see whether or not they were losing extra motion, if they're taking extra motion. In one case, they were turning around and they were getting their parts from behind them here, and they could have set them on a little bench right beside them, and they could actually just pick them up and put them in the machine. That all take time. We had some of the bolts that they were using in this process were too long of a bolt. They don't need to have that long of a bolt, because if you're turning the bolt, you don't need that many revolutions. See if we can just take seconds out or minutes out of our process. That creates more efficiency, because basically our parts are billed out on the amount of time it takes to do them. So all this is a part of the life I'm in. Now, I actually didn't choose to be in the machine shop business. I felt that I was following God's direction for my life, and this came available to me, and I got a clearance in my own way that this was the right thing for me, and it has been the right thing, because now other people other than manufacturing are looking at the concepts of manufacturing called lean. I was down several years back where I was at the city government. We have a city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And at the city government, they were naming 7 different major departments, like the Parks Department, the Police Department, the Fire Department, the Buildings and Ground, the roads, whatever they were. And they realized that they had 7 different ways of just processing payroll. Well, they can go lean. Let's go the whole thing. Let's find out the best way to process payroll, the very, very, very best, and always keep it improved. And then we'll do it all the same throughout all of the different departments within the city. That way, if an individual from one, like the police department, wants to go to work for the fire department, they know the system. The system is continually being improved. That's the key. You're never going to finish the process of lean. I've heard somebody say, have you gone lean? No, we're going lean. We're never going to end. It's going to keep going and going and going. We can never finish this process. You see, the scoreboard for a business is profit or loss. If you're not making a profit, your score is negative. You got beat. If you are making a profit, then you've got to measure that by how much profit you're making, and that's where you're trying to do. You've got to do certain things like hire right. You have to have a process. There's another whole teaching on systems. We're a process and systems thinker. I think that way in my life. I actually think that way at home. If I'm going to go pick the socks out of my drawer, I want to think if I need anything else while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and get that. So as I'm trying to think, I think conservative. Now, am I always conservative? Am I always organized? No. Don't let me give you that idea. I'm just saying that I'm always trying to improve where I'm at. So if you're going to look at it, we're going to look at it even in offices. You see, an office can become lean. You can actually, if you become more efficient, you may need 1 or 2 less employees to finish the same amount of tasks. You probably got to need computers. Now, you don't fire somebody because that's going to defeat the purpose. You wait for attrition. You wait for someone to quit or for someone to leave. You just don't fill the position or rearrange, assign them to a better fit for them. We went from 3 people in the front office to 1. People are surprised. I have someone that I respect very highly toured our shop, and they said, well, we want to see the front office. And I walked in, and I introduced this and to this person. Her name happens to be Joyce. And I said, well, here's the front office. Here's Joyce. And they said, you got to be kidding. You don't have like all this. We're doing millions of dollars worth of work, and you don't really? No, we have a process that everything through the system is processing through so that when it gets to the front office, it's a matter of some final touches and we build the jobs. It's a matter of the final touches and we pay the bills. It's a matter of some final touches and we process payroll. We don't need 12 people in the front office because we're lean. We've cut out that. There's our profit. There's the money that goes down the tube, and I'll tell you this, people like that. They like to work where they're accomplishing something. If they're not liking it, you've got the wrong person. But most people like to go home, feel like satisfied that they've got the job done, and that we're basically in the day with the job done, and we feel good about it. The way I'm doing these videos, the way I do the videos for you, is the way we learn to teach and train and communicate to our workers, because we couldn't get everybody in the room at one time. 60 people in one room, not going to happen. There's going to be 5, 6, 7 people gone. I record a little video just like this, and they take a test. They watch the video and take the test. I know for sure they got trained because we've gone lean. I hope this makes sense. I hope you get some ideas. I hope you be processed, and I hope you would share some of these to other people and be a part of Inspiring Better Business. Thank you very much.